Supreme Court directs lawyers for NDC to refer allegations of tampering of pink sheet boxes to KPMG amidst allegations of criminality and a sinister agenda to derail case of petitioners.
As 7 additional boxes appear to have been added, it is actually a matter bordering on criminality.
It is obvious that somebody has a sinister agenda to deprive the petitioners of the opportunity to fully put forward their case.
Tonight we have the outcome of the latest meetings with KPMG as lawyers for the respondents act on the orders of the Supreme Court.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services, your success, our passion, Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water. It's also brought to you by Lifebuoy, still 100% better germ protection. Also by Blue Rose Limited, shelter for all. The concerns were heard, but the decision was deferred. The story of a little showdown at the Supreme Court of allegations that pink sheet boxes locked in the course registry for counting have been tampered with. The revelations first came to light in the media yesterday, but today it was formally brought before the Supreme Court amidst accusations of criminality and a sinister agenda to derail the case of the petitioners in the election fraud hearing. For lawyers representing the respondents, there had been a mysterious addition of 7 additional boxes of pink sheets they had no knowledge of, and therefore the count ordered by the court cannot be allowed to continue. But the court ordered them to direct their concerns to KPMG, which is counting the pink sheets. A lawyer for the NDC, Chachu Chikata, led the charge.
As many as 7 additional boxes appear to have been added. Now, my lords, significantly, all 3 respondents have the same number of boxes of exhibits provided to us. We have checked with the second respondent as well as the first respondent. In each case, 24 boxes of exhibits were supplied, not 31 as was provided for the start of the work of the referee. And my lords, as of last Thursday, when the preparations for the count were going on, it was confirmed that there were 24 boxes in the custody of the registrar as far as the exhibits were concerned. Respectfully, it is actually a matter bordering on criminality, how 24 boxes became 31 at the time that they were taken as yesterday. But my lords, we cannot be distracted by criminality from the process achieving justice in this petition. My lords, it was evident to us that the control mechanism that had been agreed to check by reference to the exhibits in the custody of the president of the panel is a mechanism that needs to be resorted to in this case in order to ensure that what is presented to the referee enables a faithful and true record of the exhibit. We would respectfully submit that that control actually be widened to include, in view of the compromising of the documentation in the custody of the registry, it is not possible to proceed with a count simply by reference to that documentation. It is not possible. You will not get a true and faithful record. And therefore, my lords, there will obviously need to be a consideration of the steps that will be appropriate for this.
Now, but lawyer for the petitioners, Philip Addison, challenged Mr. Chikata's account, pointing to a sinister agenda to derail his case.
For my lords, there will obviously need to be a consideration of the steps that will be appropriate for this. As many as 7 additional boxes appear to have been added. It is actually a matter bordering on criminality.
It is obvious that somebody has a sinister agenda to deprive the petitioners of the opportunity to fully put forward their case.
I've been joined in the studio right now by my colleague Anil Sabute. He was in court to talk about the exact ruling delivered by the judges after hearing all the arguments from the petitioners and also from the respondents who were united in putting across the case that there had been 7 additional boxes in terms of pink sheets added to the ones that you already know. So what exactly was the ruling delivered by the judges?
To paraphrase, Judge Atuguba made it clear that the respondents could, address their concerns to the umpire or the officials in charge of the auditing of the pink sheet. So in their ruling, when they are bringing their reports to the court, it will capture whatever concerns that they have. Yeah.
We'll be speaking shortly to some of the members of the legal team. We're expecting to be speaking to GLORIA AKUFFO shortly. Also be speaking to Victor Kojoga Daudu. And quickly, there was one quick thing that we all need to see clarification about. You were in court. Tell us. Is it that Mr. Chikata had finished his cross-examination today?
Not at all. He said it's finished for today, subject to the report that the KPMG will bring with respect to the request they made about the fact that they're doubting that the petitioners brought in 11,842 pink sheets. Yeah.
I see.
So if you recall, there was Addison rose to his feet to find out if indeed he has finished or is going to come back again. So for now, he's finished, but once the report comes, based on whatever the findings are, he will still come back.
Okay. We have on the line right now Madam GLORIA AKUFFO, who is to join us on the telephone line. Thank you very much, Madam, for your time here on Top Story. We understand that there have been some meetings after the court indeed adjourned today following the order that was given for them to direct the matter to KPMG. I don't know if you are aware of any meetings subsequent to this ruling delivered today by the court in respect of the pink sheet matter.
Hello?
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm asking about, we understand that there have been some meetings subsequent to the ruling delivered by the court today that the respondents should direct their concerns to KPMG. Are you aware of any meetings like that?
Yes, indeed. KPMG, prior to the matter being brought before the court, had requested, subsequent to the brouhaha of yesterday, that a meeting be convened for this morning at 9:30, with a view of ironing out whatever differences that might have arisen from yesterday's work. But the respondents decided to raise the matter before the court, and therefore that meeting was put on hold. After the ruling, in fact, before the ruling was delivered, the court had said that the meeting with KPMG could take place before the ruling. But then the respondents took the position that the ruling be rendered before they would go have the meeting with KPMG. So after the ruling, the meeting, which was originally scheduled for this morning, took place this afternoon. And so the respondents, I am informed, made their concerns, which they had previously made before the court, to the KPMG representatives. KPMG representatives said they have never had possession of the documents, they still do not have it, and that they will request for the documents in accordance with the court order and will deal with them accordingly until the counting is completed.
I've just been joined by a colleague from the other side, Victor Kojoga Daudu. Thank you, madam, but kindly stay on the line briefly for me. I understand from just what we're hearing from Madam AKUFFO that there have been some subsequent meetings after the ruling was delivered. Have your lawyers been in touch with KPMG?
Yes. We've had a meeting, and the meeting we had with KPMG, it was inconclusive. What essentially they want is that they want a direction from the court as to some of the way they will proceed. So I think that is essentially what will have to be done.
Because the court said today that you should direct your concerns to them. Are you going to put it on paper for them?
Definitely. That's what we are going to do. We are going to put it in writing and put our protest to them officially, which will be incorporated into the final report. So they will go ahead, and I believe that tomorrow morning they will go ahead and they would write, when the report comes to the court and everything comes to bed, then we can ask the necessary questions that we want to ask.
The court also gave an indication of what you can do once the report comes and is captured in it, that you can cross-examine on that particular matter?
Yeah. If I will infer or deduce from the report that would come what the court has said, it means that just as an independent person who brings a report, all the parties has opportunity to ask them questions. That is, cross-examine them based on their report, based on the personal knowledge, the information that came into to them in the course of their duty. So that's the only thing, the questions that we ask them. You will not be allowed to ask questions outside the report. So as we write to them officially that this is our protest, this is what we have seen, they will come and we will ask them questions based on that.
Madam AKUFFO, just for clarity, so what it is that as to whether or not there had been additional boxes added, we won't know until after this counting had been completed.
I presume so, if indeed there were additional boxes.
And is it something that KPMG, I don't know what your understanding is, that KPMG will have to investigate that or simply include the fact that they were alerted to this fact or allegation by the NDC? What is it that you expect KPMG to do as far as this is concerned?
Truth of the matter is that the order of the court has nothing to do with boxes. The court order simply is that KPMG should do accounting in line with the particulars in our petition in terms of the categories, which are 24, and also by polling station names and codes. So it has nothing to do with boxes. My colleague on the other side has indicated that they will make a protest in writing.
Yep.
I believe that when they make that protest, it will be for KPMG to deal with the matter.
Okay.
But I can say that it's not about boxes. It's about the documents that we have lodged to the court and which has always remained in the possession of the court's registry.
Okay. Kindly hold the line for me. I will be asking you about what happened in court today when this process ended. The question about whether Chachu indeed finished his cross-examination and what your interpretation of that is. But Mr. Awodawudu, what is your expectation of KPMG? Is it that they will investigate to ascertain the veracity of your allegations, or that they will simply include it in their report that you've told them that you believe that some of the boxes have been added?
I think principally what KPMG is there to solve the problem we have is that we said we've been given a little over 8,000 pink sheets. The petitioner says that they have brought 11,842 pink sheets as exhibits to the court. So KPMG will ascertain what number of exhibits is before the court.
That's a court order to them.
That's the court order.
Originally.
Yes.
But I'm talking about on the back of what just happened.
On the back of this. So they will count everything that it's provided. The court registry will provide KPMG. It can be any amount of box, any pink sheet they are provided by the registry, it will be counted. We will get to know the number of pink sheets that were brought to the court.
But you still maintain, though, that 7 boxes have been added.
No. If it gets to over 11,000, 12,000, 18,000, I believe questions will follow. If it is less than 11,000, questions will follow. If it is more than the 8,000 we said is being received. So I think the first thing that KPMG will do is what number of pink sheets or exhibits that is before the court. So I think it will solve that problem that it is this number, it is not this number. Boxes has been added, boxes have not been added.
Okay.
We will get the total number before.
So Claire, that's your expectation of KPMG.
Yes,
okay, Madam AKUFFO, finally, is it your understanding that Chachu is done with this cross-examination, that tomorrow we can move on to something else?
That is correct. Mr. Chikata expressly indicated to the court, and the court has so noted and read out, that he has finished with his cross-examination, subject to the submission of the report of KPMG in the counting exercise. What it means, therefore, is that when the report of the counting is submitted, all the parties, including the petitioners, have a right to question KPMG on the report they have submitted. Thereafter, should it become necessary for Mr. Chikata to cross-examine Dr. Bawumia on any aspect of the matter that will come up, he is at liberty to do so, but will be subject to leave of the court. The court will have to satisfy itself that it is necessary, based on the report that it received from KPMG, that Dr. Bawumia be recalled for purposes of re-examination, cross-examination, in which case the petitioners will also reserve the right to re-examine.
But you re-examine tomorrow? You re-examine tomorrow?
Yes, so basically Mr. Chikata is finished and we start our re-examination tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam, for your time. Gloria AKUFFO, final word to you. So if the re-examination, you just confirm that we'll re-examine tomorrow, you have to call your next witness.
Yeah, definitely. Our witness is ready.
Who is that?
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Johnson
okay,
would be in the box. So we are just waiting on the heels of them finishing the re-examination, we would come. With the Mr. Chikata, subject to what would come out of
this particular count.
Yes. I think essentially the questions were the exhibit before the court, that it was not up to. Although on the face of the affidavit, if you count it or you put the arithmetic together, it's up to 11,842. But if you count it, physical count, it's not up to. So if the count comes, it is more than the 8,000, it's up to the 11,000, then we would have opportunity to cross-examine on the rest. If it is less than, then that would be it. So it will be some few questions that will be bordering on the count. So we hope that when the report comes and the counts, there's nothing substantial in it, then that will be the end of his cross-examination.
Tell you what, everybody's waiting to see Johnson Sedu Nketia in the witness box, but we'll wait for that to happen later this week, hopefully. But thank you, Victor Kujogada, a member of the NDC legal team. But that's it for Top Story. My name is Evans Mensah.
Welcome to Blue Rose Limited. Here